That was music from the Mind featuring Saba. It was called Black Aura. It's off his new album. Don't let it go to your head in Chicago. You know, I said I had a special guest in the building. And theMIND, well, he's here.
Yeah. What's up?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I can't complain, man. You know, the holidays coming up. So, you know.
This holiday is here.
Exactly. That's also real. Yeah.
And you're up early.
Yes. I normally get up early, so I ain't really tripping over this.
How's the preparation been lately for you, you know, for preparing? This is your first, headliner.
Man, I've done a lot of shows in Chicago. I've opened up for a lot of people or whatever, and I think I was talking to my management, and we were having this conversation. They were like, yo, you should do a show. And I was like, well, damn, I've never headlined anything before. We should probably do that. And they was like, you never headlined anything. I was like,
that's crazy.
Nah. I've been doing shows in Chicago since professionally probably since 2015. And 2014, something like that. And I haven't done one headlining show. Wow. So yeah, this is exciting.
How does that happen?
I have no idea. All of my friends, the cast of characters, they've done amazing things. So every single time that there was a chance to do a show, they were like, yo, you should open up. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I never looked at it like you need to do your own thing. I always looked at it like, it's a community effort. So me doing a show with you is just as good, but it's not mine. So, this is my thing, and I like that. So
what made it like this? What made this time now? What made it, okay, let me put this together now?
I think we finally started doing the things that we had always wanted to do. We dropped the Perfume. The release started looking the way that we wanted it to look. Versus, I think in the past, everything always was the preparation just wasn't the way that we wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. And then I would just get caught up in the whirlwind of someone else's situation, whether it be helping out and helping them build out their vision, but never really building out my own. And that's kind of where I started at in Chicago. I started in a production group called Them People, and the first thing that we said, we were all transplants for it. The first thing we said is we wanted to help build out the community here and not take anything away from it. So I always looked at me doing a headlining show I was impeding on another Chicago native, being able to do what they do. But I've been here for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? I love Chicago. This is my second home. So
what's your first home?
Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, Philly. Yeah, born and raised there. But I came here when I was 19. You know what I'm saying? And this is home. You know what I'm saying? Even when I go back to Philly, I always be like, damn, I can't wait to get back to Chicago.
So learning that, what made you transition from Philly to Chicago in the first place?
Columbia.
Shout out to Columbia.
Yeah, they got all of us. They got all of us. They took our money. They took everything from me. Yeah, Columbia. I came out here. This is where I met a lot of my friends. Chris Classic, Smino, Saab went there for a second. Everybody that I met. I think I met Chance as he was selling CDs outside in front of Columbia, because Jones is directly across the street from my dorm. So it was just always seeing these individuals and stuff. But I felt like I had kind of grew roots here easier than I did even back at home. I was doing my thing in Philly too, but when I got here, I just felt like it was I grew up here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid in Philly and I grew up here. I became an adult here, and that's a completely different environment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Completely different. And I just felt like Chicago just adopted me. I felt like it just took me in underneath this wing, and I don't think I'm going nowhere anytime soon.
What's something from Philly? As far as I would say energy or maybe personality wise, you bring from there to here. What's a part of the culture from Philly you bring to Chicago?
Souls. Philly has a huge neo-soul scene. You know what I'm saying? Bilal, Jill Scott, you know what I'm saying? Floetry, when they first came over, they went there first. You know what I'm saying? Some of my friends was writing for Melanie, Fiona, and all of them. We always, I think the aspect of brotherly love doesn't come in until we get a little bit older. Mm-hmm. And I think that Chicago has that love too. And I think when I came here, the first thing that I felt was this felt like Philly just on a larger scale. It didn't feel y'all have a very East Coast vibe to y'all. You know what I'm saying, with the trains and everything else or whatever like that. But Chicago is a bunch of cities mixed in one. You know what I'm saying? You got Miami, if you think about the pier and like the water and everything else, you know, you got like, you know, the LA vibe as far as like just the Hollywood aspect of like sometimes where Chicago just feels like it's a bunch of stars here all the time and it's just like star-studded. You got the basketball team like with Chicago Bulls, like this legendary team that like exists here the same way like LA or Philly or any place. So I just felt like y'all had so many different places and I was like, oh, like why would I go anywhere else when this feels like all of those places in one, you know?
I'm happy you brought I mean, I feel like for us being Chicagoans, we sometimes take that for granted because we're here.
Yeah.
And then when you start to travel like yourself, you know, you even did a European tour, my brother. You done seen some things.
Yeah.
You know, you really get to see what's where and really get to evaluate the culture, man.
And it makes sense now. You know, you think Chicago has been voted like most beautiful city in the world, like what 3 times in a row, 3 years in a row, like this.
Yeah,
that's not a joke. Like, you know, it's a beautiful city. Like, and every single time I land back here and you see that skyline, you're like, oh yeah. I'm supposed to be here, man.
The plane going over the water.
Man, come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, Chicago has also been ranked as the rattiest city as well, but that's another story. What we gonna do?
Hating.
we gonna jump into a quick music break. theMIND is in the building.
Yeah.
The truth is the fate. You ain't about your people, your is coming off evil. Say that to our fate. You don't really love us, stop calling your brothers, my you win away.
Brand spanking new music from theMIND featuring Film Dot with Love Us off of his album Don't Let It Go to Your Head. Oh man, who produced that record right there?
Frank Leon. Yeah, he's a beast out here. So yeah, that record is heavy. I love it.
The way you could just alter styles and alter your sound, like you could hit some bars.
Yeah.
You can hit some soul.
Trying to.
And you can sing.
Yeah.
Like where does that come from and how are you able to pull that out?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think it comes from like this aspect of never wanting to be put in a box. You know, just feeling like, like music is self-expression. So any way that I can express myself, whatever the medium is, you know what I'm saying, I want to do that. I never really wanted to kind of get like, I didn't start singing until later on. Like, you know, I hate my voice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I hate my voice. Even now, like when I like listen to me singing, I'll be like,
oh no, you was just rocking off.
You know what I'm saying? But like, but that's the thing. It's this weird place of like, you know, what's they say? What's the saying? All of the best things are on the other side of fear. So I think like I'm in this place where like if it scares me, then I know that I'm doing the right thing. And so when I first even started up the moniker theMIND, I was covering my face because I wanted to sing, but I didn't want nobody to judge me and like be like, oh, then he sucked. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh no. So I'm just gonna cover my face, and I started doing that, and then the singing stuff popped off before anything else did. It was crazy.
So what came first for you?
Rapping.
Okay.
I was rapping first. I was rapping in, you know, that's Philly. Like, you know, we was battle rapping, doing all this other stuff.
Did you have the braids?
No. See, that's the I never could do the braids. All my homies had it. My hair just didn't grow long enough. I just
so
didn't
you
have
wanted braids.
Exactly. I wanted the braids. I never had them, right? I was definitely, you know, I was jerseyed out, like, you know what I'm saying? But I never really got the braids down. I'm still trying to get braids. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's funny.
I'm gonna settle for some locks or something, you know what I'm saying? Let it go.
The locks is different.
It's a mode though,
and the way it grows, the patience behind it. So I had 3 sets.
For real?
I'm not going back.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'm not going back. I enjoyed it while I had it, but
I'm gonna do it real quick.
Go ahead, give it a try. You know, I think you never know. You never the music might change with it.
Exactly.
And you know the title, "Don't Let It Go to Your Head."
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
With my old manager, we were like in a bar somewhere, I think in LA. But it was more so of a note to self to never get too high, never let any of these things like kind of move me more than, or like take me away from my base of like the person that I know that I am. And I think like a lot of times, like I was seeing like individuals like kind of get caught up in whatever their notoriety was and not really accepting or understanding like, yo, we are all the same people that we were prior to this. And fame or anything or whatever like that just magnifies the type of person that you are. You know what I'm saying? So I never wanted to like kind of lose my purpose or the reason why I started doing this, which was like help my family out, like, you know, to try to break generational curses. Like, you know, that meant more to me than anything. So like, I just, you know, if this was going to be a project that kind of broke through, I wanted that to be something that I remember. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of noticed me.
That's a solid. I feel like that title fits you well.
Thank you.
Going back to the beginning of our conversation, you talking about us talking about your performances and how you really wasn't even looking to headline. You know, you just wanted to help.
Yeah.
So that lets you know right there, you're very humble. Your head is on straight, my brother.
Trying to be.
Not trying, you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're doing. And with Don't Let It Go to Your Head being out, you put together the Deluxe.
Yeah.
You know, what encouraged you to, you know, put out the Deluxe version?
SZA.
SZA? Oh.
But like, no joke. It's like I watched SZA and like her drop the Deluxe to Control like 5 years later. You know what I'm saying? And I think like she kind of changed the aspect of like how we look at and release music. I don't think that there's any timetable or way that we should be like, oh damn, like I gotta release this now, or my Deluxe has to come out 2 weeks after this. I'm more so looked at it like from the standpoint of like, well, I didn't complete the thought when we first sat down with it. So if I didn't complete the thought, no pun intended here, you know what I'm saying? I want to go back and finish it. And we had some songs that we didn't drop on there. We had some songs that we wanted to get on there and that didn't make the cut because, you know, just the timing of like trying to drop it. And I was like, we dropped this in 2020. I was like, let's run it back. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that many ears on it at that time because of like the state that the world was in. So I was like, I dropped it now, and it's like everybody's like, yo, I haven't heard any of this. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of the point, you know what I'm saying? So if you haven't heard it, now it's brand new to you. If you have heard it, it's 5 extra songs on there that make it feel like a brand new project. We redid the sequencing, so I love it.
I feel like I said this with Jahari Noel when she came through. Music doesn't get old
At all.
So it's like, I know as an artist, you sometimes may feel that way because you may have heard your song several times. It may have been sitting on the shelf for several years.
For sure.
But music never gets old. There's so many people out there. So did you also, you know, have that aspect in mind too?
Guaranteed. I'm still fairly new artist, you know, and not even fairly, I am. Like, you know, so every single time that we drop something or something comes out to the world, say 100,000 people hear it the first time or whatever like that. That's 100,000 people out of how many billion people that's on this planet? You can re-rock that 1,000,000 times if you want to. Like, I remember Bryson Tiller, like, you know, he dropped Don't, and then 3 years later, Don't actually popped.
Yeah.
And so it's like that timetable that we've kind of like decided to exist in, it's not real. It's only real to us. Like you said, like I've heard a song 1,000,000 times before the rest of the world hears it. But that doesn't mean anything. Like, that doesn't mean that song isn't hot or that it's not going to be brand new to somebody else who hears it. So
I rock with that, man. The project is bananas. And I mean, I want to know too, what was your favorite thing about putting the Deluxe together?
I think like working with newer artists, like there's a producer named Vu who I think is like insane. And there's also my friend Mayana, Olivia, and Daviana. Like, it's just so many people that I wanted to work with and wanted the rest of the world to kind of hear their voices. And then I had the ability to kind of make that happen through this, you know. And even if I feel like these artists will, in their own right, forever go on and do crazy stuff, to say like, damn, like we got something done, like, you know, and we were able to put it together on a project that means so much to me. That means the world, you know.
Love to hear, my brother. Look at here. I'm gonna jump into a quick music break. I believe you're on this record with Film Dot. Back on road?
Yep. Yes,
you know, one of my favorite joints off of Not For Sale. You killed the end vocals, like,
Thank you.
Man. Let's get into it. We coming right back after this music break. It's 91.1 FM.
I was back on road, I came back home where all the real estate. I'm just selling flows, can't sell my soul, I gotta live with that. I was back on road, I came back home where all the real estate. I'm just selling flows, can't sell my soul, I gotta live with that.
I'm back on road. Love that song right there, man. And then the way you just, Chicago is Vocalo Radio 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Bekoe, and with me, I got theMIND still in the building. He has a show going down at Schubas. For you to make that a place to go for your headliner, man, I already know it's going to be special. Yeah. Historical headliners just took place there.
No, true.
I mean, what made you specifically choose Schubas?
It was a situation that kind of happened with Audio Tree. Okay. They are like hand in hand, and you know, my manager, we had a conversation about like, hey, like we should do this Audio Tree thing, and then it can bleed right into a headliner show, and that's where the whole conversation about like you never did a headliner show came from. So it was something that just kind of happened, but it was perfect because all of my favorites that I've seen for the first time, I saw them there. You know what I'm saying? Or like all of my friends too, like whether it be Smino, I saw over there. Yeah, like
I was gonna say that my first time being at Schubas, I saw Smino.
Yeah.
His first.
We was probably there at the same time.
I think you was on stage.
Yeah, I think I came out for a quick second. Yeah. That was a good show.
It was. It had the props on the stage and all
that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, that's a solid place to go. And you know, most men would put together a cologne, but no, sir. Yeah. You switched it up and you say, you know what, I'm finna do something for the ladies. Yeah. Hook them up with some perfume. Yeah. And what encouraged you to switch it up?
Well, upon working with perfumers, I started to realize that they was like one and the same almost. You know, cologne was a word that was created to kind of diversify or like make something seem more masculine, when in actuality we all wear oud perfumes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of wanted to make something unisex. I wanted to make something that felt inclusive for everybody. And it's wearable for anybody. Like I think I would say like Pollux is more of like a masculine scent, and I would say that Castor is more of a feminine scent. But at the same time, it can be intertwined or interchanged because you know it's a dual perfume. It's two separate fragrances that can be worn separately or worn together to make like a third fragrance. So, I just wanted to make something that like I got 9 sisters, man. I wanted to make something that like everybody could wear. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, right here. 9 sisters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's crazy.
9?
Yeah.
Are you the only boy?
No. I got a little brother. Yeah.
It's a big family.
It's a huge
Y'all got a football team.
Literally. You know what I'm saying? Literally. And then some.
Something else I wanted to touch on before we wrap things up is you like to collect things.
Yes.
What are those certain things you like to collect?
I'm weird with it. I like toys. I like games. Like, you know what I'm saying? All types of like weird little comic books. All, you know what I'm saying? Like I deep dive into like a lot of. I feel like I was robbed of my childhood. So like I feel like as an adult, like I kind of wanted to have that same exact feeling, but you know I don't even open them. Like I just
collect them.
Exactly, and I just like leave them up there. I got like a bunch of like Iron Man toys and stuff like that, some like vintage stuff. But like the reason why I wanted them is because this is stuff that I like wanted as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I got like 2 mopeds that I don't even ride, but the reason why I got them is because like I wanted a moped, so on and so forth. So I want to do that. I want to go into like arcade games and stuff like that, like the big units. I want Time Crisis, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to get a crib and just have Time Crisis in there. Like, but I want to play that. I ain't gonna hold you.
You sitting on gold. That's what it sounds like.
I'm trying to, yeah.
Imagine if you took your collectibles and put it in, you know, to get some cash.
Yeah.
Oh man, you buy a mansion off that.
And I think the beauty of it is like I actually like this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like I don't think I ever sell it, even if it was like an exorbitant price that went up for it. Like I like the stuff that I have. Like it's because it means something to me. It means something to a point in my life, and from that I just just keep on grabbing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, man! Yeah. Look, I gotta start getting my collector item game up.
You know what I'm saying? Go crazy.
Take some notes.
We can compare it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if I can do that shit yet. Give me some time, but let people know again how they can follow you and stay in tune with more music.
For sure. Follow me on Twitter at theMIND or Instagram at theMIND. And yeah, come mess with your boy.
Yeah, hit him up. Look at here. Don't Let It Go Till Your Head is out right now. And I got your single loaded up too. God Don't Like Ugly.
Let's go.
Break down God Don't Like Ugly before we jump into it.
Man, it's this great song that's produced by this Montreal producer, The P. It's featuring Davion and Mayana Olivia, and I don't know, I just love it. It's a beautiful track about like not really seeing the beauty in yourself, but being able to see that same beauty in other people. And yeah.
Maybe I should go back. I think I got an infatuation with self-deprecation. I ain't the best reflection, but I'm the only one we got. All we need is love and a little bit of whiskey, just enough to fill the tub, so I could drown in that muddy water. Sing the blues when you miss me. Now I know I look different. When you saw me last, the smile was missing, funds was low, court was tripping, shows was empty, summer camp hadn't dropped, and the quotes was fitting. God done came through. When I go to sleep at night, I don't